Hi, welcome to Matt Holman Golf. I thought we'd take a look at Justin Rose today. Justin Rose is obviously won the US Open last year. One of the most consistent ball strikers in the world. Says he's very comfortable drawing and fading. Doesn't really have a stock shot. Fades when he needs to fade, draws when he needs to draw. So that's a pretty good golf swing in my book. You can see this on the left-hand side is a slight dogleg from left to right. So he's playing a slight fade shot. We've got a 3-wood here from both views. The other one is on a driving range somewhere, maybe a year or so later. We can see from the white head it's a slightly different model. Now I will post at some point a comparison of his swing maybe 5 years or previous to the Sean Foley era and then after. I think there's no doubt, under Ledbetter he really had all those missed cuts and then he was really able to push him on and get him in the top 50 in the world, but Foley's done a great job to make him one of the best players in the game. So maybe we can run through a few of the changes that I've seen that he's made and that for him have made a big difference. So I think the standout area is Justin. Great looking first move. Like all these guys, I think the videos I'm posting, you'll be surprised how similar all of them are in this first movement. So hand staying, club tracks up the shaft plane line, not too much rotation in the face. Still got a little bit of angle there we can see relative to the spine. Great looking set positions. Got the shaft nicely inside the ball, which is exactly what we want. Now, at first point, this is where his swing looks a little bit different to what I've seen it previously. His arms are now a little bit more behind his body. I think if you looked at him prior to going to Sean Foley, you would see his arms a little bit more in the centre of his chest. Now they're a little bit more behind him. And now as he keeps going up. So due to that now, his arms are lower and flatter than what they were previously, and a significant amount. I would say in real time, maybe 20 centimetres flatter and lower. So quite a big difference, but great looking position there, very neutral face. Left arm is very much matching the shoulder plane. What I think's interesting, the coach I work with now, Sean Hogan, did a lot of work with Justin Rose when he was with Ledbetter. His arms were more in front, and I think a lot would think the Ledbetter method is a more upright set, arms more in front of the body, but really they vary it to the player, and in the work I've done with them, they moved my swing more to Justin Rose as a model, as a lower and flatter position. So Justin Rose used to struggle with blocking and pull hooking and getting sort of underneath and out of sync coming down. And he felt when his arms are more in front of his body, he was having to sort of back up and lose body angles to try and find the correct line coming into the ball. And then that's where his bad shots would come from. Now he's lower and flatter. He really felt now he can just turn his chest over that stable lower body, which he's doing. So legs are passive, club shafts perfectly on plane here, great looking delivery, retains his angles great, and now he can just work left and keep everything moving through. I think something else that he's done a really good job on, I've noticed for many years with Justin Rose, if we put a box around his head, so let's have a look. Very good body angles here, but he had a tendency to sort of really work back, up and back too much. So look, we can still see there's a tendency to do that, but it used to be much more exaggerated. And then the chest and head would sort of then work towards the ball a lot. And you can see he's got a remnants of that, but it used to be much more exaggerated. And he'd sort of be in his angles for too long. The problem with that, it's very hard for the chest to keep moving. The arms can work independently and the club rolls over and we can pull hook especially. So he's definitely improved that now. He's lower and flatter. He turns his chest much more now over a stable spine angle, and then just keeps everything moving. Let's have a look on the right hand side. So the other area where really his swing's changed, it's gone shorter, and it's gone lower, flatter, shorter. That really, if we're going to work to that theme, we work on all three, and he's much more centered than what he was. Again, I think due to the new equipment, you're seeing a lot of the golf swings moving to this. I think the videos I'll post, I think you'll see a theme that maybe 5-10 years ago their arms were more in front of their body, there was slightly more movement off the ball, and a lot of these guys are going to now a slightly more centered position and a lower and flatter. I think stack and tilt is slightly more at the extreme of those positions, but it's definitely gone a little bit, definitely more centered and a one plane style movement. So now he's got a nice strong move into that front foot. You can see how his head's moved forward of its original starting position. So he's eager to cover. It's almost going to be a slight back up now, but only slightly. So you can see that his head is noticeably forward of where it started. Again, you know, Adam Scott is an example of this, that with these modern clubs, the ball gets in the air so easily, there's no need to hang back and try and hit up on it on these reverse Cs. So all these guys are very centered, they're getting very covered, so they want to avoid push and pull hooks, and then they can just keep everything moving through.